Y'all, real quick, let's try to talk about this Clay Thompson Meg the Stallion a breakup that has the internet in shambles because we really were thinking, there were some of us, myself included, who really was thinking that this was a good match and that she had found somebody solid, and we were happy for her because it's hard out here. It's hard out here being single. But let's talk about let's decenter Clay, right? And let's center the behavior of these men who come into your life knowing now after a year he's decided, or he told her that he doesn't want to be monogamous. He was rich and famous when they met, right? He didn't have to be monogamous. Nobody forced him into an exclusive relationship, or what she thought was an exclusive relationship. He could have just said that, which gets me to my point. For regular people who aren't Meg the Stallion, and for regular guys who aren't Clay Thompson, all you got to do is set the correct expectation. Y'all, I'm an attorney. When I consult with clients, I set an expectation. I don't come in there telling them, hey, I'm the best lawyer in the business. This set of circumstances, this fact pattern, this is a winner, and all we got to do is file this, and this. Show up to the hearing on this date, and we are going to win. We're going to emerge victorious. No, you look at the circumstance. You evaluate the strengths. You evaluate the weaknesses. You anticipate the arguments on both sides, and you set the correct expectation. I have never told a client, even when it was a clear win, even when our chances were very good, I have never guaranteed a win to a client. You have to manage the expectation. Men deliberately, not all men. Now don't come. I'm not even gonna have that discussion with you. A lot of men come into your life um, knowing full well that they aren't ready for whatever reason. There's no illegitimate reason for not being ready. Your reason is your reason. The point is, you come, you know you aren't ready. You know you aren't sure. All you got to do is verbalize that. Women aren't simple minded creatures that can't compartmentalize. We totally can compartmentalize. And I'm going to take it a step further and say emotional attachments are so exhausting. A lot of times we're okay if you don't want something long term, if you don't want something um, permanent, if you don't want something emotional, if you don't want something heavy. A lot of times we're all about that because we have heavy lives. We have jobs and parents and children and friends, and we have things and situations in our lives that really do deserve and obligate us to do the heavy lifting. So if you want to come and you want to be something light and airy, come on in, sir, and then go home, sir, and let's just keep it light and airy. But I'm gonna tell you something, because when a woman loves you emotionally, you know what I'm saying? You can set the, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be all over the place. But even if you come and you verbalize and say, hey, I just want to be light and airy around here. I don't need nothing heavy. I don't need nothing serious. You're still going to get good things out of us, particularly if we just like you, if we're just fond of you. We know it's not going anywhere, but you're a solid dude, and we like you. You're still going to get some additional benefit besides just physical access. You're still going to get, you might be the one I answer the phone for at work, where everybody else, I'm not picking that phone up, right? You still may be the one that I'm going to promptly return the text to. Whereas somebody else might have to wait 30 minutes, an hour, a day, right? Okay, the point is, if I'm not emotionally attached to you, you still may get that benefit, but I don't have to give you that benefit. If you're my man and we're emotionally connected, I have to care. I have to take action, right? But that's the point. The men want to take away the option So they mislead you. Clay knew a year ago, but he wanted some fried fish and spaghetti. He wanted you. He was gonna get the sex anyway because he's Clay Thompson. He's handsome. He's good looking. He's rich. That was going to happen, right? But he could have verbalized, "Hey, I don't want anything serious." They want to take you off the market. Um, they want to be free to exercise options, and they have better. I don't know if they have better management of their emotions, or maybe it's just because they already know it's a big old lie anyway. So they come in knowing that they're lying to you. But a woman who is emotionally connected to you, if you had a bad game, she over there rubbing your temples, rubbing your feet, making you something to eat, praying over you, affirming you. Versus if it's a situationship and you have a bad game, it's rest up, champ. You'll do better tomorrow. And then she going on out with her friends because it's a situationship. Not that she hates you, but it's not an obligation. Um, and so I always say, when you love something, you love somebody, their problems become your problems, right? Their wins become your wins. They 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 get mentioned in your prayers. They come up in your thoughts. And I'm not telling you what I'm guessing. I'm telling you what I know. Think about your children. Think about your parents. Think about your friends. Think about people you genuinely love. They call you with a problem, you instantly, the wheels start turning trying to fix it, right? But think about somebody who you're not emotionally connected to. You don't hate them. You just sympathize. It's not something you're trying to fix. It's like, okay, you might, brainstorm a little bit, but you're not going to take like real action. And men want the real action, right? They it's not enough to just get you some sex. Hey, I'm cooking dinner for myself. You can come over and get a plate. They want you to, on a day that you don't feel like cooking. Let me get up and make him something to eat. That's what love does. Is sacrificial, right? And they want the sacrifice. Whereas, these loose, light, and airy situations are optional. I don't have to sacrifice if I don't want to. Um, Let me get back. I was telling y'all about the one. I had a long-term situationship that was rock. It was the best. It was the best. It was the best. That man and I were friendly. We had our good time. He was consistent, baby. He was always a good time. Let's say that. But what we didn't do, we didn't sit on the phone every day and talk. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't text, all throughout the day. I couldn't tell you that man's birthday. And I know I didn't tell him mine. Valentine's Day was not a thing. Christmas, he had children, I had children. He was not married. He was unmarried, right? He was single. So it wasn't about that he was at home with his wife and all of that. No, he was single. I was single. We just weren't a couple. And when he was present, he was present. And when he was absent, he was absent. And I didn't know about his problems, and he didn't know about mine, right? And so we didn't have that emotional connection, but it was still respectful. We just knew what it was. One day he was leaving my apartment, and the way that my apartment was kind of situated and hidden, you had to walk out the door and up some stairs to get to the parking lot. And so I was walking him out, and we were going up the stairs. He was walking ahead of me, and so he reached back and grabbed my hand. We were holding hands as we were going up the stairs because he was, I guess, helping me up the stairs. And so when I realized that we were holding hands, it was almost like I was apologizing. So I pulled my hand back really quickly, not hostile, but just realizing that a boundary had been breached and that wasn't part of our agreement. And so it was, like I say, it was almost apologetic. And he reached back and grabbed it again, like, it is what it is. We both understood that it means nothing. Kudos to you, Owens, for not ever misleading me, for not ever blurring the lines, right? It ended on its own terms. It just fizzled out. There was no animosity, there was no hatred, no anger, no tears, no nothing. No nothing. That man didn't need anything from me other than what we were giving each other. Shame on y'all, because it's totally possible to just be honest about what you want. Set the correct expectation and quit deceiving people out of more. This lying. It's almost contractual. Quit contracting for this big thing when all you want is this little thing. Get the little thing. And quit harming people unnecessarily. Me and Owens, nobody was harmed. I saw him a few years later, when I was going to visit a relative in the hospital. We embraced like the old friends we were. It's totally possible. Y'all are wrong for this. Clay, you wrong for that. And you clay like broke folks. You clay like regular dudes. Shame on you. Shame on you. Y'all have a good day and do better. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. That wasn't right.